Hey guys, so today we are going to introduce you with the area of probability with which you are familiar since your earlier classes, right? But before that, let me quote the lines by one of the great Russian mathematician A.N. Kolmogorov. The theory of probability as mathematical discipline can and should be developed from axioms in exactly the same way as geometry and algebra. This quote is from Foundations of the Theory of Probability, published in 1933, in which he introduced the axiomatic approach of probability, which we will learn in this chapter. But before that, let's recall the meaning of probability. Well, in simple words, we can say the probability of occurrence of an event is the likelihood or chance of the occurrence of that event. So suppose we toss a coin, then what is the probability of getting a head? Well, when we toss a coin, there is only going to be two possibilities, or we can say only two possible outcomes. And here our event is getting a head. So basically the probability of getting a head is 1 out of 2, or mathematically we can say that probability of getting a head is equal to 1 by 2, which is equal to 0.5, or in percentage we can say it's going to be 50% probability of getting a head, right? Similarly, if you will roll a dice, then what is the probability of getting an even number? Well, when we roll a dice, the total possible outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. And out of these, only 3 are even number. That is 2, 4 and 6. So basically we can say the probability of getting an even number is 3 out of 6. Or mathematically, we can say that probability of getting an even number is equal to 3 by 6, which is equal to 1 by 2. Or in percentage, we can say there's a 50% probability to get an even number, right? So from here, we can observe that probability associates a number to the occurrence of an event. But the question arises here that why are we interested in associating a number to the occurrence of any event? Well, in general, we have been always interested in associating a number to most of the quantities. For instance, we associate a number to the height of a person. Because if we had not associated a number to the height of a person, then given two people, we could tell who is taller and who is shorter. But we cannot accurately determine the difference between their heights, right? Similarly, we quantify probability so that we can compare the likelihood of two events. The higher the number associated to an event, more likely it is to occur. For instance, consider this scenario. So, in a match between India and Pakistan, what is the probability that Rohit Sharma will score a century? Well, in the real scenario, this depends on several factors like pitch conditions, ground conditions, his batting form, and many more factors. But here we are only going to consider the collected data of his performances in previous matches against Pakistan. So, suppose he played 100 matches against Pakistan and scored a century in 80 out of them. So we can infer from this data that there is a 80% probability that Rohit Sharma is going to hit a century and 20% that he will not. So from here we can say that the Rohit Sharma will hit a century has a higher chance, right? Well, this approach of probability is known as the statistical approach of probability, which we have learned in our 9th class. Now, let's revisit one more approach of probability which we have seen and used in our earlier classes. That is the classical theory of probability. So, this approach says that the probability of occurrence of an event is equal to the ratio of the number of favorable outcomes to the total number of equally likely outcomes. Well, here some of you might be wondering that what are equally likely outcomes? So basically, equally likely outcomes are those who have equal chance of occurrence. What does that mean? Let's consider an example to understand this. So for example, when we toss a coin, then the occurrence of head and tail are actually equally likely. That means when we toss a coin, we cannot predict the outcome, as neither of the two outcomes is more likely than the other. It means that both head as well as tail are equally likely. It means both have the same chance of occurrence, that is 50%, right? So far we have recalled two theories of probability. Number 1, the statistical theory of probability. Number 2, the classical theory of probability. But both these theories have some serious difficulties. For instance, these theories cannot be applied to the experiments which have infinite number of outcomes. In addition, in the classical theory, we assume all the outcomes to be equally likely. So basically, in the experiments where the outcomes are not equally likely, this theory cannot work. So, to overcome these difficulties, the axiomatic approach of probability was introduced by Kolmogorov. But to understand this approach, we need to get familiar with some of the terms. So, we will meet in the next video to understand the random experiments, its outcomes, and sample space. Till then, take care. Bye.